Not your ass. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Brosé. Just a couple of bros drinking rosé and talking fitness. I am your host, Mike Garrity, the strongest comedian in the United States of America, and this is my co-host, Dr. D, doctor of Chinese medicine, acupuncturist, nutritionalist, strength coach, and white guy. Right?
Guilty.
All right, you know the drill. You know the drill and the deal. You folks send in questions and we answer them. Usually I'm right and Dustin agrees with me. 9 times out of 10. So let's get started. Here is today's Hot 5.
Check your math on that, Mike.
Well, I shouldn't wear a shirt with Velcro. It's harder to get to the Hot 5.
It's a good looking shirt, though.
Thank you.
Brings out your eyes.
SPF, actually. Guys like me need that. Number 1, when people start getting on in years, they start to say things like, I want to stop lifting for size and strength and start lifting for longevity to support joints, flexibility, etc. What does that mean? What does that look like? Dumbbells, barbells, bands, yoga, testosterone?
All those things? Yeah, probably lower impact on the joints and managing inflammation, which we can come back to.
So, okay, recovery is a big part of that.
Yeah.
I will recover when I'm dead. Okay, one time I saw you hurt someone's back and it improved the range of motion in their shoulder immediately. Explain yourself.
Explain yourself. What do you mean I hurt somebody's back?
Someone didn't have a range of motion in their thing, and then you went and like dug into their back, and they're like, "Ow, that hurt! Wow, my arm moves now."
Oh, okay. So they had some sort of orthopedic block, and we were freeing that. So we were testing it. So you can use acupressure points, and you can also use different types of kinesiology techniques to actually improve range of motion.
Okay. Is that science or is that folk medicine?
No, that's science.
All right, well, we'll see.
Well, also folk medicine is science.
We're gonna prove that later. Who is hotter, me or Conan O'Brien?
You.
But I did.
I did.
Personality counts.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
funnier than me.
Is he?
Thank you, Dustin.
You're welcome.
All right, if I eat an extra large pizza all at once, there's no way my body is gonna digest and assimilate all those nutrients. But does that also mean I won't absorb all the calories either?
No. I like your logic. Yes. It
Wait,
still
yes?
counts. Yeah, your calories will load in there.
All right, let's dive in a little deeper with this stuff. I am curious about the lifting for longevity, right? Because I hear this a lot. Well, I don't want to like lift heavy weights anymore. I just want to get faster and take care of myself and protect the joints.
Yeah.
But doesn't lifting heavy weights make you stronger, therefore protecting your joints?
Yeah. Yes. Well, no one said that when somebody makes that claim that they're actually founded in science.
Okay.
Right? So,
all right. So from your expert opinion, what should someone do if they're getting on in years, they want to continue lifting weights, but they want to do it for longevity?
So learning how to lift properly would be the number one thing, because the difference between doing a chest press at this angle where you get a lot of things in the anterior joint capsule versus this angle where you're going to have better glide in the joint can really save your joints in early years. And then also in later years, it can reduce the risk of injury. So learning proper technique is really important. And also the other part of this too is not just assuming that because somebody's a trainer, they know proper technique. It's really remarkable how many people in that fitness field really don't have a good grasp of the manipulation of training variability.
How many of them don't have a grasp?
Most.
Most?
Yeah. It's something that
80%?
has gotten better as with technology evolving. We have better access to people and more information that way. So it has gotten a lot better, and that's great. But we still have a long way to go. So I would say first and foremost, really, spend some time with your technique. The second thing then is understanding cardiovascular fitness is different than maintaining muscle mass. And though you probably don't have the hormonal levels to create a lot of new muscle development as you move into your 50s and 60s and 70s, you can certainly maintain it to a great degree. And so not being afraid of the weight training, that's certainly a way to keep you.
So what's that look like for a 60-year-old guy who wants to maintain muscle mass? Like what kind of stimulus are we looking at?
The same stimulus that we deal with in any type of training, which is you have to either think about, am I doing something that's metabolically where I'm going to try to drop body fat, if I'm doing something to create mechanical damage or being hypertrophic or build new muscle. And what it probably means is we're going to go more in that neurological stimulus, which is heavier loads without,
It's the opposite of what everyone thinks.
in a lot of cases, it's something that's definitely important to mix in there. But I'll tell you the thing that is not being talked about a lot today in the fitness world, but it's going to be a huge topic in the next 10 to 20 years, is really what we're doing on the gene side. So stem cells and then gene therapies are going to be transformative in terms of what happens.
Where do you get your stem cells?
I don't. I know plenty of people who. No, I know plenty of clinics that do them. I have had clients go to do them with great success. The price on stem cell therapies have come down a great deal over the past decade, but the new frontier is really moving into gene therapy. And over the next 10 to 20 years, I think most people are going to be looking at that as the next level.
I just use like those little packets of sea monkeys, and they grow in the water.
Oh yeah, those are great.
Just mix that in with the protein shake.
Same thing.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's as you age, if you're able to manage your total inflammatory rate, because as you age, your inflammation base level increases.
So that's hot bath, cold bath, both.
So great. Okay, so this is a great question. If you do cold plunges, it can drop your inflammation rate, which will also drop your ability to build
muscle.
Correct. But as you age, when you're less concerned about building the muscle and you're more concerned about managing that rate, it can be very beneficial.
So do you do both?
You could.
Hot and cold?
Yeah.
Or just like if you got to pick one?
No.
I got a gun to your head. Pick one.
Whoa, easy.
You're 60. Pick a bath.
Okay, put down your. By the way, is that how you hold a gun? This is giving me glimpses into your hunting success.
Can't take down a bear with a pistol.
Right. So.
Well, okay, we'll go into that later.
If you have to pick one, my particular proclivity is to go in the sauna direction. Because it's more enjoyable, and whatever is something that's more enjoyable is probably going to be more successful because you're going to stick at it longer. Doing cold plunges have a great deal of benefits, but
cold plunge and sauna, similar benefits?
well, you thought you go to those fancy spas, which used to be ancient spas, right, where they would do hot room, cold room. You'd sit in a fire room, and then you'd run outside.
Now you don't go to
sauna.
the ancient ones because you get staph infections.
Right. Exactly.
All right, let's go to the next one. What time? What time? What time is it?
I actually haven't a clue.
Correct. Next question. One time when I saw you hurt someone's back, you did some acupuncture, acupressure, it hurt, and then their arm moved better.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. Yeah, but let's use that
Yes.
specifically as an example, because look at this. This is as far as mine goes. Is that good or bad?
Yeah, it is what it is. It's not
Good or bad?
It's not failing an orthopedic test, but it's also could be
It's good.
improved.
So it's not bad, it's medium?
It's a medium. It's a
Okay.
medium plus.
Would you be able to stick your finger in me and prove it immediately?
I don't know. I could actually try something here. Come here. Give me your hand. So one of the things you can do with acupressure points, and these are acupuncture points, is that you can create a lesion or a stimulus into a point, and then your brain isn't quite sure if it's, hey, is this my hand that's doing this, or that's feeling that pressure, or is it something in my back? So it can actually send a communication back to all of those very similar structures, and the byproduct can be a change in the range of motion. Okay, so if I do that to you, now if you lift your arms up, we'll see if we make a change.
Is it different?
Yeah, it's changed.
Oh.
It's
I can feel it on my ear.
yeah. Well, you also moved your ear on that time, but
Oh.
but yeah, it does. So yeah, that's now the general idea here would be that if we create that type of change in range of motion in your body, and you went to change it or train it, that you would hopefully be able to maintain that kind of scapular glide, which is really what happened there. You allowed your scapula to move a little more freely, and it would be more normal for you.
Well, I don't usually say this to you, Dustin, but that was cool as hell. Do you know a cooler one? Like a cooler place to touch me?
Yeah, but we got cameras going, so we
Oh,
gotta...
come on. Grow up and touch me somewhere cooler. All right. This is the extra large pizza thing, because you're telling me that if I quit eating like a snake, I'll do better because I'll absorb more nutrients, right? So if I eat 2.5 pounds of like ground turkey and 2 pounds of broccoli in one sitting, you're telling me I'm not going to get all those nutrients, right? Probably.
Well, yeah, but that's, I mean, yes, and
But am I still getting all those calories?
yeah, so nutrients are more fragile than, micronutrients are more fragile than macronutrients.
Because they're smaller.
Yeah, it has to do with the structures, but you will assimilate about 95% of your calories of food that you eat. Now, there's some foods that have a higher metabolic cost. For example, nuts or corn and different things that you don't digest.
Higher metabolic cost means it's harder to digest.
Yeah, it's like kind of a thermogenic activity type deal where it's like it takes more energy to break them down. You don't break them down fully. So yeah, there's some wiggle room on those, but not enough to make a major difference in your waistline, right?
Wait a minute. So, okay. So usually I eat about 24 to 32 ounces of cashews on the way home from the store.
Okay.
When I buy dinner,
Yeah.
that's my driving home snack. And then I look at the back and I'm like, oh, I just had 3,500 calories
Right.
on the way, and now I got to eat dinner.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting all those calories, right? Because I don't break it all down.
Yeah, you're getting most of them. You are getting. I mean,
This growing up, it's rough, huh, Dustin?
it is. It's tough. But the idea here is that what you're trying to do is game and work the system. And in reality,
I'm trying to trick myself.
what you want to do is lean into heavier to breaking down and digesting and assimilating your micronutrients, right? Which comes from nutrient-dense food. Those foods are harder to overeat because not only are they more nutrient-dense and better for you, but they also tend to have higher levels of fiber, right? Which can help us swell this. Now, if you're looking for a hack, which...
Yep.
Okay. So one of the things you can do to significantly reduce the caloric loads of foods would be to take something like a starch, like rice or oatmeal or potatoes.
Pizza?
I don't think it will work with pizza simply because it's already a processed food.
Okay.
But rice, potatoes, oatmeal, these things I think
Pasta?
will work. Possibly. But I would stick with the three I just told you. Don't
Okay.
get greedy, Mike. And if you cook it, you cool it, and then you reheat it, you are potentially able to reduce its caloric load by about 25%. And some of this has to do with the way that the superstarches are released in the cooling and reheating process. And there's some research out on that was fairly fascinating. So I've used that successfully with people who are trying to keep food volumes high, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. You want a high food volume.
Mikey's
right?
hungry.
Yeah. So if you were to do that and say, I had 200 calories of rice, it would potentially drop it 25%. So drop 25% off that, and you're not 50
Let's
calories.
just make my pizza out of rice. Just make your pizza dough out of rice, and then you'll be 25% less fat. And so are the days of our That's Brosé. Thank you so much for joining us. I have been Mike Garrity. This has been Dr. Dustin Nelson. And don't forget to get your bros spayed and neutered. And also like and subscribe.
There you go.
Yep. And also leave a 5-star review with the following words. Dustin's home address is : Do you want a 5-star review for this or not?
Nope, not that bad.
Good night, Cincinnati.